This is going to be my final day of reports from beachside. Although I'm not actually beachside. I'm wearing one of my Florida Man shirts in honor of the fact that I'm technically at the beach, but I this is the last day reporting from these conditions where I am somehow managing to turn a trip to the beach into me sitting in the room ranting about ball. And for my last report, I'd like to dive into something that is not going to fire up anybody at all. We're going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo today because there's some certain things that have been coming out that that are leading me to believe that I don't know how this is going to end. But there is one main takeaway that I've had watching everything unfold for the last ever. People do not know when to walk away. Tom Brady retired and then came back. Okay, like that is that is an example that's applicable here because you have Cristiano Ronaldo, who is also arguably the greatest player of his sport ever. I would put Messi ahead of him, right? Now, and that's like I feel like that's a personal debate for a lot of people. But I also feel like if you don't put Messi ahead of him, you're probably wrong, given everything Messi managed to accomplish and, I don't know, eventually winning the World Cup. Who knows? But players, people in general, that are doing something important, they struggle to know when it's time to hang it up. And it's the sad truth of history. You're usually the last person to know when it's time to hang it up. Because here's the cheese, right? Cristiano Ronaldo's not bad. Right now, he's still not bad. In a large top professional league in Saudi Arabia, full of guys who are, the best athletes in their country, who are getting paid millions of dollars to play, he's still good. Now, granted, I'm sure the refs, you got a bit of a favorable look on him and everything, right? Because there is that element of state control and everybody's paying to see Ronaldo score goals, right? And you're selling TV contracts and having people watch your matches because they want to see Ronaldo score goals. That is what happens when you sign 38-year-old or 39-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo and bring him into your league to try and bring eyes to your league, is you need him to actually be playing and scoring. So I would be stunned if there wasn't, if there wasn't a collection of certain allowances that are provided to Cristiano Ronaldo so that he's able to be a little bit more successful in that league. That doesn't surprise me. But he's still good. Like compared to you and me, he's still unbelievably good. If you put him in a Sunday league, he'd score 45 goals. Right? It's not like he's deteriorated to the point where he doesn't know how to kick a ball anymore. There is just a difference between the player Cristiano Ronaldo was, which is somebody that could physically, emotionally dominate 90 minutes of a match against the best players in the world, and what he is now, which is a player that can't do that. The problem is Cristiano Ronaldo still definitely believes that he can do that. Somewhere in a place that maybe he doesn't even want to admit, he believes that he can do that. That's why he went to Manchester United in the first place. And he had a falling out, and he was still competent. He still scored goals. But he wasn't a complete game changer the way that the way that he had been, like the way that he had been for the previous 15 years. He just wasn't anymore. And now there's this discussion happening, right? I saw it was apparently his contract ends in June at El Nasser, right? The contract that's going to pay him over $300 million over the life of it, which he's definitely collected like the majority of that already. And it's going to end in June, and apparently he wants to have his next move decided very soon. I'm sorry, next move? Right? Like, the next move is a yacht in the Mediterranean, my guy. It is not, let's go to another club and see what happens. Pep Guardiola is sitting in press conferences being asked about what would, Man City's struggling. Would you want to sign Cristiano Ronaldo? And Pep Guardiola's answer was kind of laughingly, well, you never know what's going to happen. And then he didn't provide any more details, right? But do we really think the solution to Manchester City's problems lies within the 39-year-old legs of Cristiano Ronaldo? There is no shame in that. Wayne Rooney is younger than Ronaldo, and it feels like he stopped playing 10 years ago. Okay, you can be one of the best players of all time. When you're 40, you're not anymore. But there is a really weird dynamic to this, which is if Ronaldo keeps wanting to play, there will be serious, real clubs that will be interested in him. Because Ronaldo brings with him the entire circus. In a good way for a club, right? Money, media attention, energy, right? People like you. Look, can you? How much more energized was Manchester United when they signed Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Like it was this shot in the arm. Obviously, that was a return to old stomping grounds and everybody always coming back home and all that fun stuff, right? Like just an absolute explosion of energy because Ronaldo was in town. And jersey sales and viewership numbers and stuff that you're able to get from sponsors. You're able to raise the ticket prices. You're making millions and millions and millions of dollars. Now, obviously, you're paying him millions and millions and millions of dollars. So you got to find the balance that you feel like is going to end up working out and making you money. But this is Cristiano Ronaldo we're talking about. If he wants to keep playing, somebody's going to give him a shot. The problem is they're no longer giving him a shot because of his on-field talent, because of his on-field contributions. They're giving him a shot because of everything else. And my question, like literally to Cristiano Ronaldo is that what you want to be? Right? Because the moment you decided to go to Saudi Arabia for the money and to be like a brand ambassador basically for a country, that's what you decided to become. Right? The moment you leave Manchester United and go to Al Nassr and make $300 million and tweet about how great Saudi Arabia is, you are now your entertainment, your WWE. But you get like in Ronaldo's own head, the way he's moving, the way he's doing his stuff, like he still thinks he's that dude. He still thinks he's capable of walking into a Champions League knockout team and being their lead striker. And maybe he could walk into one of them for a year, but it would be the one that doesn't have the money to pay him. It would be like Monaco, who happens to make it into the last 16. And, like Ronaldo doesn't want to go to Monaco in the first place. I mean, he does, but not to play. This is a weird dichotomy because, it makes me sad. It makes me sad to see Cristiano Ronaldo in this situation doing these things. But he can also do whatever he wants. Or he can do whatever he wants. If he wants to do this, if he's aware of this, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the guy. Right? You do whatever you want. He's earned the right to do whatever he wants. I mean, everybody can do whatever they want, right? As long as you're not harming somebody else. But he's earned the right to do whatever he wants in terms of his career. He's made a ton of money. He's won a ton of trophies. He's played for the biggest clubs. He can go do whatever he wants. Cool. But it just feels like he's trying to live out what his life used to be. He's playing in a league that allows him to still be a superstar. He's got this award ceremony, the Globe Soccer Awards, which didn't exist before he went to Saudi Arabia, or at least the award that he has won every year since he moved to Saudi Arabia, which is best Middle Eastern player. That was literally invented. And it was very transparently invented just to give a giant award show to Cristiano Ronaldo every year. And if we're being completely honest, he hasn't been the best player in the Middle East this year. He didn't win any trophies. He didn't lead the league in goals, as far as I'm aware of. I mean, this year he's behind Mitrovic and Karim Benzema, right? And I think it was Mitrovic who's not only leading the league in goals, but he's on Al Hilal, who's actually winning all the trophies. Because weirdly enough, Ronaldo plays on a team that just doesn't do that. But they've invented this whole awards ceremony, or they've invented this whole award that Ronaldo's won every year since it was created, just so he can get that award ceremony experience he used to get at the Ballon d'Or. All of this real awesome stuff he used to do is now turning into this fake paradise where he's just kind of living out what his life used to be. That's the way I said it earlier, and I think that's that's the best way to describe it. He's found a way to recreate what his life used to be. Big crowds chanting his name, scoring a bunch of goals, feeling like he's better than the people he's playing against, because he is. And going to these award ceremonies, and then even mouthing off against Rodri for winning the award. He said he thought Vinny should have won it. I thought Rodri's comeback was pretty good. He said, well, the journalists voted for me. It's the same journalists that voted for him, and I think when the journalists voted for him, he didn't have a problem with it. So, which is that is just straight truth there. Ronaldo's just entering this weird era, right? And especially if he's going to leave Al Nassr and he's not going to play out his career there, and he's entertaining the idea that he's going to move somewhere else, I think he's going to get a really heavy dose of reality if he's not aware of the fact that he's just not the player he used to be, which Again, that's not a thing to be ashamed of. You're 39 years old. I don't care how many cryogenic chambers you sleep in, you're 39. Okay? And no human being at the age of 39 can do what they did at 21. Okay? It just doesn't, Cristiano, do whatever you want. But it kind of makes me a little sad.